Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Oztron and we are back with StarRupture, and for today's episode we are starting a new series. Today I plan on helping you guys that are stuck at the level 8 and level 9 part of the game, where a lot of you guys are struggling on your base building and building the items that you need to progress to the next higher tier level of items. So if we go over here and look inside of our little corporate terminal, let's go inside and check this out. I've already am at the mid game point. I've started a whole new game and I've deleted my whole base, so everything that's out here is now gone, and I need to finish deleting the rest of the items over here. But basically I want to start pretty fresh, so I just kind of have like some bare minimum stuff set up and want to show you guys. This is where, you know, a lot of you guys have reached out to me and have expressed your concerns and stuff with how to get past level 8 and level 9. Not really past, but just the best way to do it, because once you start getting to this area, to these items, and you're having to unlock, like say the compounder, and you know, a lot of people need the refinery for sulfur, and then a real big one is the defense turret. So a lot of people want this larger defense turret, and then probably the biggest one is going to be down over here, which is the level 3 or version 3 rails, which are the faster rails. This is really a game changer when it comes to optimizing your base and getting things to flow nicely without needing so many rails. This really helps reduce all the spaghettiness that a lot of you guys are experiencing in the game. And so what I want to do is just kind of address each of these independently and build specific little mini bases, not really mini bases, but mini factories that will churn out the materials that we need in a reasonable amount of time. So what I mean by that is a lot of these, say like these impellers, these can take quite a long time to start producing, and it will take, since we need to, you know, make 179,000 points here, or credits or whatever this is, some kind of currency that we're sending up, and each one of these impellers are 120, let's say 120 bucks basically, right? Let's just say this is dollars. I don't really know what a K is, but
I'm detecting increased rupture activity.
Okay, we got a rupture event coming, so that's good. So yeah, so this is 120, and then when we put an item inside of one of these orbital, cargo launchers right here, these things really only churn out one of these items. Like if we go, which one is it? Which one were we at a second ago? Right here. So it's 120, right? And this will produce at a maximum, I think, one every 6 seconds. So basically, I think you can get 10 every minute. Is that right? I don't know. But basically, yeah, 10 a minute. So that's not super fast, right? And what you really need is you need 3 to 6 of these to get about, to really get like 60 or 30 of these popping out every minute. And right now the max you can get is 6. So that can take a long time at 120. If you're only doing 6 a minute, then you're looking at many hours for that thing to get to 179,000 points, right? Or whatever. And if you can do 30 to 60 a minute, then you can reduce that down to like 10 minutes to 30 minutes, or an hour. Even an hour would be okay. So in this case over here, just so that we kind of understand, let's focus on the refinery, because this is really the next thing that I need. These are 120, and we need to basically build as many of these as possible. So let's say 30. Then if I do 30, let me calculate this up real quick while this rupture event is going on.
Prepare for impact.
All right, so the rupture event just hit us, but I calculated this out. So basically, if we can pop these out, since we basically need to say, let's just focus on getting 30 of them. That's a decent amount. Otherwise you're going to need like a bazillion machines to do that. So if we do 30, then we are looking at basically in 49 minutes filling this bar up. And so I feel like that's a decent amount of time because you can kind of run around on the map and take care of things over 49 minutes, and you will have cleared this out at a decent speed. But I want to show you guys what it's going to take in order to do that. So basically what we're going to need, let's see. Yeah, so what we're going to need for machines and everything, we're going to need about 18 fabricators, 9 furnaces, and 7 smelters, along with 2 mega presses. And then on the mega presses, they will churn out about 15, I think 15 every minute of these impellers. So that means that we'll only need 2 machines to get to 30, and then over 49, roughly around 49 minutes, we will have these done. Now we can reduce that to about 25 minutes if we double everything, and then we could do 60 a minute, and we could set up basically 6 cargo launchers out there to launch everything out at a time. So, but I think that would require a lot. That would require like 32 different machines, or 6 fabricators. So that's a lot. We don't need that many. So and I'm using like a app. I'll put a link to it in the description to show you guys like what I'm using. There's a cool little web app called the StarRupture crafting calculator, and it kind of gives you a rundown of basically what it takes to run everything at max speed. So it just helps calculate everything for you, so you don't have to sit there and throw down a spreadsheet and calculator, which I've been doing, but I didn't realize that this site existed. So I'm glad that I found it. Someone on, I think Reddit posted it or whatever, and it just happened to come across it. And I was like, oh, this is really good. So using this, it allows me to kind of go through, show you guys how I'm going to set up a base to produce enough of these and do it efficiently and quickly, so that you guys are not spending forever, because it's going to only get worse as far as time goes. And once we get to like level 9, 10, and especially between 10 and 11, after you get the assembler and after you get the compounder, then we're going to need, this number is going to go to about 600 and so thousand points or dollars or whatever. And this that's going to take a long time, and I'm not kidding when I've literally had one part take 10 hours to unlock something. And I think when I did that, I think it took 10 hours to unlock the wind turbines, and I think it took 10 hours or so to unlock, where is it, what the heck, where am I going here, to unlock the multi-storage. And I think I did the level 3 rails decently. I can't remember what item it needed, but it was one that I was already producing a lot of, so I was able to get to that. But I think it was the electromagnet, I think, or the super magnet, one of the magnet things. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. That one's not super terrible. This one's kind of rough, so we'll get to that. But this one, you need a lot, but you can build. It doesn't take a lot of machines to be able to get to the level 3 rails. So that's going to be one of our ultimate goals, is to do level 3 rails. So anyway, enough chatting. Let's go out and we need to find a good spot. I guess I'll start the building of the, what are we building? We're building the impellers, right? So the impellers will be built on this guy right here, and we're going to focus right there. And then next we're going to have to build the nozzles in order to unlock the next thing. So we'll see. We'll see, maybe I don't know, we might be able to knock out both of those at the same time, but I don't want to. I think I want to just focus on one at a time, and we'll make like little individual micro bases, I guess, although they're not going to be super small. but we'll build a micro base and focus on impellers, and then the other one is this one right here for the turret tower or defense tower, and we can do that one just by nozzles. And once we get the refinery done, then we can unlock the batteries also. Wait, where did it go? The battery. And then once we're able to make the battery, we can add these two together, and then that will help increase the rate of which we make money on those. So we're gonna do that. And then also, this is another thing that not a lot of people really talk about or share, but if we look here, these little nodes, right? This is the titanium node right here, and then this is the wolfram nodes over there. And on the titanium, they actually have different qualities. So there is a impure, which these two are down here, and then there is a not really pure, but there's a normal version, I guess is what they kind of call it. And then there is actually a pure version, which is kind of like, it looks a little different. It's a little rainbowy looking, but if you look at these real closely, you can tell the difference by the normal version is not so beat up. The corners and everything are very nicely structured. It's relatively flat on top, and it looks okay. And then over here on a impure, you can see that the surface is all like, messed up and worn, and looks like, it's getting ready to dry up basically. And same thing with this one right there. Now there's another way to spot this as well, by putting down one of these guys. So if we put down one of these and then we walk over, it'll actually tell you right here. So this one's producing you're getting 2 titanium ores, and it says impure every 2 seconds. And then this one over here, if we go right and we jump up this way, this one says titanium ore. It doesn't say whether it's pure or impure, so it's just normal, and it produces 4 every 2 seconds. So you're getting twice the output. And then on the pure versions, you'll get 8 every 2 seconds. So 1 pure titanium you can get every 8 seconds. And I'll show you guys, we're going to need to actually go over to the helium part of the map. I'm going to need to set up probably first. Actually, we should probably do that first. This would be a good time to do that because it's a rupture event. So let's go ahead. We're going to head over here. So we're currently, this is basically where everybody basically starts by the orbital launcher, kind of in this area. Some start right here, some start right there. But if you go over here, there is a helium area right there, and there is actually a pure titanium node over here too. So let's go head over there, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. I think, let me make sure I have all my resources. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we are over by this titanium node, and then let's hop up here. So as I was saying, this one is the impure version. And then we have this one over here. Oh, get up here. Oh my gosh. This one is the normal one. So you can tell that the surface is not so chunky. It's nice and shiny and flat. And then that one right there is the pure one. So you can definitely tell because the surface is super smooth and flat. And then if we lay down one of these guys right here, I have to put down a base building, which is fine. I need to do that anyway. But that one will be a basically 8 on the ores. So you'll get 8. Oh my gosh. Stop. Thanks. Hang on. Let me deal with these guys real quick. Alright. There we go. Take care of these dudes. Messing with my... Okay. That's with my progress. Alright, I think we got all those guys. Okay, so we have helium that's up on top of that ledge right there. So if we look, there's a helium thing right there. So we need to come over here, and we need to put down a base. So I'll probably put the base up here. There's only a path to get up here. Gosh. I'm gonna do all this all vanilla-like too. So, okay, here's our thing. And then we should be able to put a deal down. So let's go in here. We got like a little square cube thing. So we're gonna put that down kind of like right in this area. That should, well, I kind of need some of the wolfram too, just in case. Probably wouldn't hurt. Maybe we'll put it up here. All right, and get it a little bit of the wolfram and this. We'll just slap that sucker right there. Okay, so now if we go over here, if I put one of these down right there, now we come over here and it says it's pure and you get 8 every 2 seconds. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys those things. I'm gonna try to focus on some of these more advanced details that you should be paying attention to, because all of these things matter when you are trying to produce as much as possible. Otherwise, you're going to need a ton of like titanium from multiple sources. So you'll need one from over there, one from over there, one from over there, in order to feed things fast enough to produce at the rate that we want to produce. So let's go ahead and get down our helium. And helium is the only thing, well, I think helium and sulfur don't have purity as far as I know. I think the wolfram has a purity, and the what is it? Wolfram and calcium, I think, has a purity. So we're gonna put that one facing this way, I guess. No, we'll have it face that way. And then, oh, we have a little guy right there. Get his thing. And I need to cover this place up with a little foundation. So let me do that. And we're gonna down these guys. Oop, no, go up one right there. And get our foundations going like this. And then we'll have to do some power also. So let's just get all this covered up nice and pretty and functional. And then we're gonna put down some of the drone cargo launcher things, whatever they're called, and get those going. So I'm not sure how many I'm going to need, but we're going to need a good amount. All right, guys, got the launchers down. So basically we need to probably put some rails up. So we're going to do these kind of rails for right now, and just put those right there. Oh, dang it, I keep putting that one down. Let's do this one right there. And I'm using the middle mouse or the right mouse button to change. See, if you don't, you can actually make it center. A lot of people don't know that. And we can line those up like so. And I messed that one up already. So messed up 2 of them. We're gonna replace that one and fix that one. And put these down in the right place. Jeez. All right, that one goes there. And this one comes up and goes right there. Wait, up right there. We'll put down more of these. Okay, and then we'll connect our rails. I'm doing all of this using the version 2 rails, by the way, too. So I think that way it's kind of fair to show you guys that are at this level, you know. All right, so we'll put this one here, there. And then we'll go here, there. All right. And then I have enough room to put one more for this one and one more over here, or that one if I need 3. But 2, I think, should be plenty. And this will need to... We have to actually configure these, so we need to put the receivers on the other side of the base. So let's go back to our main base. And I'll see you guys over there in a second. Back over here at our main base, and I'm gonna go ahead and just delete all of this stuff that I have just kind of spread out. So let me take care of all of this, and then we're gonna start with a clean slate and build a nice little mini production base. So we're gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna need 2 of these ores. Actually, we're gonna need all 3 of these, to be honest. So, oh, I didn't mean to delete that. What? I don't know what I'm doing. We're only going to need one of the wolframs, but I might put a second one in. I'm going to leave my power over there, and we're going to leave our main base here. So let's just get rid of all of this. Okay, so that is where I have my power stuff being done at the moment. We're going to actually switch all of this to wind turbines, so we're going to get rid of this solar just so that we conserve some space. And you know what? I may move those. So let's go ahead and pick a spot here. I think what we'll do is I want to go up to the highest little part, and we're going to start right about here. There's like a little crevice right there, and we're going to go across that and across this area. And we're going to start right here where this rock is and just kind of go out that way. So basically we're going to take these little supported foundations and kind of come up a little bit here and just start laying our foundations down. Might have to go make some more building materials. You probably want to build a special building material rig or setup that is doing nothing but building materials, so that you always have those on hand. Same thing with the intermediate building materials too. And then we want to do these in little segments, so I don't want to go too big. We're going to put spaces in between all of these, so I think that's good enough to get started. And then I will do maybe a little bitty one right here. I think that will have our smelters on it. We'll do our smelters here. So, but you see I'm leaving little gaps in between everything over here. Okay, so now let's go and set some power up over here. All right, guys, I have stage 1 set up right now with the smelters, and so we have 4 smelters over here that will be making the titanium bars. So we need to configure these to do titanium bars. And then over here we have 2 that will be producing oops, not those that are producing the wolfram bars. And then we're gonna need this one right here producing calcium. But I was thinking about making a second story, so I'm not sure. I haven't really experimented too much with doing multiple levels, but I think I might be able to do it over here since our base is on one foundation. It's once we can't put a foundation underneath, then we run into issues with doing multiple stories. So let me experiment. I need to set up a calcium. I need one calcium machine over here, or smelter. Oh, actually, never mind. I already have it. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, we already have it right there. So that's what this one is doing, the smelting right there. But I am for stage 2 was going to try to maybe do 2 stories, 2 levels possibly, at least. But basically I have the helium coming into these 2 right there. I don't think we're going to need the helium just yet, but I want to have it on standby. And then we need the calcium, and then we need those. And then I set up a calcium base over there, and you guys already saw that I set up the helium section. So I have the calcium over there, those little 4 nodes running into these little launchers right there with some basic power and a little base module over there, or base core thing. And then over here, I have this just doing nothing but producing the building materials. So this is just giving us a bunch of building materials because I've already run out, and I'm gonna drop all this. We don't need all this mess right here. Okay, cool. So I need to set up the level 2, which is going to be basically 2 for calcium powder, 6. I'm going to need 6 machines, or 6 fabricators basically, or I'm sorry, yeah, fabricators. We're going to need 2 more, 2 more furnaces actually, and 6 fabricators. and for titanium rods, because we need lots of titanium rods, and then the rest of them we'll be able to do with just 2 fabricators. So we'll need some titanium sheets and some wolfram plates and all that stuff. So let me set up everything here, and then we'll walk you through that once I get through setting that up too. And so it's really going to be the 6 machines that I'm going to try to stack. Maybe just got to figure out where I'm going to do that. We got to like kind of pre-plan where our foundations are going to go, because we're going to expand out to this way. Now I did right here split our base, so you guys can see that this is one level here, and then we have a walkway. These are walkways, and they go all the way, and they split this into its own section, and then all of these items are on this section over here. And for whatever reason in this game, if you have too many items on one giant platform, then it starts taking forever to put something down. Like it can take 10-15 seconds depending on your computer. Usually for me, I mean, I don't even think it really took 10 seconds, but it was enough to be super annoying. And because I was having to put down and delete things a lot and reconfigure on my previous base, that it was just annoying. So doing this has really fixed that issue, so hopefully they'll address that in the next update or something. I don't know, it could just be like a typical memory thing. There are a lot of things happening that that go on, so I can understand it being a resource hog when you have thousands of things flowing down rails and lines of machines churning away. Okay, so let's do a level 2. Let me set up. We're gonna do start off with, I think I need 2 more furnaces for the calcium powder, so let's go ahead and do that, and we'll set up those. Where is my furnaces at? Always, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we'll do the furnaces for that, and since these are big, I'm gonna put these down here and try to keep everything kind of close. So let me figure this out. Give me a second. We have stage 2 set up. So basically, let's go to our little drone flyer. Put in the rail. Oh god, that thing's in the way. So put in the rails over here. So we have our 2 storage containers right there of wolfram basic materials, and then those are turning into the ingots or whatever they're called, and being smelted down. And then same thing as here. Oh, here's the wolfram, and then we have these first 6 machines which are making rods. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are making rods, and then we have the titanium plates being made here, and then we have wolfram plates being made there. Then we have wolfram wire being made here, and then we have calcium powder being made there, which I do not have hooked up for some reason. Why is the why is calcium why is calcium not working? Okay, so wait, this one should be calcium, right? Yeah, calcium should be coming through. It's full, right? Why are these not doing? That's set to do calcium powder. So what's going on right there? Yeah, that's weird. This should be taking calcium out. Make sure I have all the lines going in the right direction. So the way all this works, basically, it's a rail system. So things will take the path that is, you know, shortest. So you guys can see things are coming through here, and then they're jumping and going into that line and hopping over here, going over there. And then we have some like going the other direction. So basically all of the rails go this way on the right side. So if we look at this as like a little highway system, we have a right lane and a left lane. The right lane, everybody is going this way, and then these are like little access roads that turn off to go to machines that are, you know, like little shortcuts. And then if something needs to, it can go all the way down, all the way to the back, and then the back loops around and comes all the way down this way. So if there's something way over here, it just hops on the road, and the road takes it to wherever it needs to go. If it needs to loop around and come back and hit a machine over there, it can. And then same thing on this side, it basically loops again over to here and comes back around, just in case. And so this will tie, these will tie. This is not really important really at the moment for the whole looping system, but when we set up other machines out here in the front for like stage 3, this is stage 2 right here, and this is stage 1. So this is like your basic, you know, materials being refined, and then these are items starting to be made, and then we're going to get to the next second level of items that will be made over here, and keep on going until we stretch out. And we'll probably have to split this place in 2, maybe a couple times. But I don't know why the wolfram powder, why is that not, what am I missing here? What's going on? Do I have one of these lines backwards or something? Oh, I sure do. Look at that. Right there. There it is. It's pointing the wrong way. So we'll just remove that. Just one of those things you guys have to really make sure to, there they go. So see, they're popping out. They're taking the little shortcut road along with whatever other materials it needs. And so other items can come down here. And then now these are being produced at wherever, at the rate that they need to. So this whole system's set up to where we only need one set of rails, hopefully, and that these level 2 rails should be fast enough to do everything that we need to do. I didn't set up a second story. I know I was talking about doing that, putting another level over here, and I could do that, but I'm trying to like make it compact and keep it simple. I was thinking about it, and then I was like, you know, that ends up being kind of bananas when we're putting in a bunch of, you know, levels and we're stacking things like so and everything, and then it kind of goes like this, you know, and so I could do that and put a second story up there, but then I have to run the rails from the top to the bottom. It starts getting fairly messy, and so I figured just so that you guys can see and understand everything, it's just easier to do it this way. This way it's very cut and dry, you know, like these first 6 are making the rods, and then we got our titanium plates, and then our wolfram plates, and then our wolfram wire, and then our calcium. And so all of those are going to be passed forward to the next section. So the next section, we're just going to need about 3 furnaces and 3 more fabricators, and we'll set those up, and those will work on the glass and the rotors. And then after the glass and rotors, we'll do level 3, which will be, not level 3, but stage 4, I mean. So I'm trying to do these in stages if I can keep this straight. I may make a little diagram piece of paper or something like that you guys can download and show you guys like how this is going to go. So but just keep in mind, all of this is to make our when I hit that, all of this is to make the impeller. So this whole base is going to make one thing by the time we're at the end of it, and I think that might be the best strategy for a lot of these things. You know, on my previous base, I was basically reconfiguring my base to make one thing and having to go back and reconfigure it again and have to go back and reconfigure it again, and it just becomes like a logistical nightmare in a sense. So I think it might be better to say, all right, well, this is going to make our impellers here, and then this area over here is going to make, you know, turbines and things, and then this area is going to make lenses and what all the end game items. You know, it might be better to set little mini micro bases around, although this isn't going to be very micro, but just to make that one item all throughout the map. And I think that might be how the devs may have intended how this goes, so that because they have so many little areas that have, you know, titanium and the wolfram nearby and the calcium nearby, you know, like all of this within this area are all near each other. Then there's a whole area over here that's all near each other, and along with sulfur. So it seems like it's meant to make these little mini micro bases, and then having items, you know, shipped all over the place like that, using our drones and other things. So I think that's the overall goal. So let me work on the stage 3. We got stage 1 done. Stage 2 is this one, and then we're going to do stage 3. That one shouldn't take very long, really just setting the rails up. The rails are like the longest part of this, and then also like setting up the foundations as well. So let me work on that, and I probably need to add some power here pretty soon, but I think we're doing okay. These have made all of their items already. See, we're already maxed out at 100. That didn't take any time whatsoever. So once we get to the end of this, we should be able to knock out the cargo launcher with our item fairly quickly. So let me set up the stage 3 and I'll come back and show you guys that. All right, guys. So I now have, let's take a look. Let's go to our little drone here. So we have stage 1 making our base materials, stage 2 making our rods and plates and some ceramic powder, and then we have stage 3, which is basically making our rotors down here, and I have glass down here. I put this space in the middle so that I could send items through. So I actually have a little throughway in the middle just to help resources from our helium. So we're now needing the helium to come in through here. So that's coming through. Instead of going all the way down, it only has to go halfway down. And so it basically goes this direction and then intercepts here and then goes into our glass production over there. That way it doesn't have to like clog up the lines over there for all the resources coming through. And then, like I said, we have the rotors being made there. And then I'm actually starting on stage 4, which is going to be our stabilizers and our heat resistant sheets, which will be over, let's see, the heat resistant sheets will be in the furnaces and the stabilizers will be over here. So I'm setting those up now, and I figure I'd show you guys basically how I'm kind of like routing all of this. And then I have this little space in the middle, and so I'm sending things through here. So everything moves forward. So it's like a little highway system with some roads, and then there are these little one-way roads that run all the way forward down the line. So that's kind of what the outside are doing, and then this side's doing, and then the very end on that area actually goes in the opposite direction, just in case there's something down at the end that needs some kind of resource. But the way that we're doing it, nothing really should be turning back. Everything should be moving forward. So now I'm just setting these up to go like this, and then this will come through and cross that way. As I said, we're going all forward here. So that's moving forward there. And then same with this line. So I'm going to do this all the way down over here. And actually, I meant to put some lines here. So we're going to put one there and one here, just so that we have the option to move forward down to the next row in front of these guys. Man, these little things. I keep thinking that the devs could make these things snap a little better, but I mean, I think they work pretty good. They're just, you know, it's very pinpointy, so we have to really click on the right area. Sometimes it's a little squirrely though, but I don't think this is really a big issue. I know some people think that it can be challenging placing these rails, but once you get it like kind of like figured out, then it's not really a big issue. So we'll just keep going forward like that, and then we'll run these into there, and then that moves forward to there, and that moves forward to there, then forward to there, and then same thing with this one like that, and then here to there, there to there. It can be a little predictable, so that helps. And then there to there. We're going to take this front line and move it to there, and then here goes like that, and then we'll send these across. A lot of these it won't use, but that's okay. And then we're going to go that way. We'll go ahead and just connect these forward. Why not? And same thing. I don't think it's going to use these at all, but the more lines it has as options, I find the better. So I think that's everything there. So is that one connected? Let's make sure that's connected into there, and then into there, and then same thing like that, and then there. Okay, that should be it, I think. So now let's go do our stabilizers. Oops. And turn them on, and heat resistant shields. So this is the heat resistant shield, and then that's the heat resistant shield, and then it should start sending some items this way. Heat resistant shields. Yeah, there they go. They're starting to come through. See, then they took the shortcut way, so now they don't have to loop all the way around, and that looks like this from our drone. So see how that's working out like that. And of course the glass is having to loop all the way around. Why is that? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second, let's see. We got like an issue coming right there. That needs to go forward like so. Yeah, okay. So that, I don't know why, I guess the connection was broken, so see, but that gives you an idea of what happens. Like, so if something gets blocked, or, you know, there's a mess up like that, then you see that it will pull items from the best path that it has available. So in this case, it decided to grab it from around the long way and send it all the way back instead of just sending it down the line. So basically, once everything will kind of like will split up in its flow a little better once things start moving and all the machines are doing their thing at the normal pace. So basically, once they all get full, everything kind of equals out. What was the other thing we needed? We needed the stabilizers, right here. Stabilizers and stabilizers here and stabilizers there. So now that should start pulling some items in for the stabilizers. Yep, there they go. We got the items coming through, so everything's moving along just dandy down here. Got building materials being made. We have enough power. We have our drones delivering our helium and our calcium. We have the wolfram coming in right there. We have the titanium over there. And then these lines are a little clogged up at the moment, but like I said, they will equalize out at some point once things start flowing. But right now, everything's just kind of filling up and doing its thing, and no bells or alarms are going off, so that's good. Is that one doing it? Yeah, okay, that one's got things going. The glass is really clogging some things, but yeah, I think we're doing good so far. So now we have stage 4 complete, and then we'll have to move on to stage 5 and 6. So I'll probably save that for, I think, the next episode. I think I'm going to close it up here after kind of going through all of this and showing you guys everything with this episode. And I think it's a good stopping point. These may take a couple of episodes, 2 or 3 episodes per item, depending on how complex we get the further we go down. So this is a rather simple one, believe it or not. So all of this is just to make the impeller. And once we get to the point of like needing the electromagnets and turbines and things like that, then we're probably looking at a system that is going to be 3 to 4 times bigger than what you guys see here, just to make that one item. And it will still take probably several hours for that to launch into the cargo launcher and fulfill the order for that item, if that makes sense. So in the next episode, we're going to finish off the next row, set up the cargo launchers, and then watch those things go up and see how long it takes to deliver everything up into orbit to wherever that little place is. I don't see it. It's must be a cloudy day. There it is, that little place right there. That's where we're sending everything apparently. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this series. And if you'd like me to cover some additional things about this setup, I'm about to expand this area over. We're going to go a few blocks over, and then I'm going to put another walkway to divide everything. And then we're just going to keep going that way. I wouldn't be surprised if we almost make it over to the calcium by the time we're all done. But right now, just keeping everything simple on one platform. I'm not trying to do multiple levels, like I said earlier, because I don't want it to get too confusing for you guys from looking like too much crazy spaghetti. Once you go up multiple levels, then there's the whole issue of going up and down using like walkways and stuff, and then also sending the rails onto the next floor, because it can get a little confusing and messy, and sometimes not the most optimal way too, because you have to like tie it in at the ends or just wherever you can. It gets a little hectic. So I think right now this is a clean setup. You guys have a good idea of where we're going with this and how to use these cargo launchers or receivers and launchers right here that are receiving the helium and calcium from over there, which is nice. So a little bit of everything, but yeah, this should be fairly simple for you guys at this point. If you're on level 8 to 9, this is basically what we're doing. And then we're going to make multiple bases like this for each item so that we can advance all the way to the level 11 tier of products that we have to send up. And so it's going to get more difficult. Right now we only have, let me get out of this, the about 170,000 little space bucks that we need to send up. Let's see, what is it that we need? We are right here. So we're going to get our refinery so that we have sulfur extraction coming up, and we need to launch a whole bunch of impellers. So they're 120 each. So when we send those up in the cargo launcher, we need to send what is it? Let me put one of these down. It's easier if I just throw this down. So if I put this up and we go to Selenium Corp, then yeah, there's 120 a piece, and the max this thing can send is about 10 every minute, or 1 every 6 seconds basically is how fast this will send it. So we're gonna try to set up 6 of these to send off, and so we'll have 6 running, and so that should deliver the items up in about 40 or so minutes to finish off the 179,000 K. So hope that makes sense. I know it's kind of confusing, because we're sending up those, but we're gonna triple it up basically, and send 30, I guess, at a time. I was going to do 60, but that means if I was to do 60, then everything that you see over here would have to be doubled. So that means we would need, instead of 6 things making rods, I would need 12, and may need even, and then we would also need multiple lines as well, because these level 2 lines are not quite fast enough. So we would have to have 3 lines here to make sure that we can have the throughput enough to send all the items down the line. And that gets real, kind of crazy and messy. So I'd rather spend an extra 20 minutes sending items up into space than having to spend that extra hour basically to set up more machines, if that makes sense. So you kind of have to decide what's going to take longer, several hours of setting up machines and configuring rails, or just waiting for the deliveries to be made while you run around and explore the map. I still have some things that we will need to unlock. I still have some blueprints. So all of this over here, we still have to get the sulfur so that we can make the sulfuric acid. I still have to go find these blueprints, which I think we're going to have to go back through the world engine in order to get to these last blueprints. I can't remember, but I think that's where these are at, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I may be thinking of the blueprints of when we open up the the assembler and the other machines, the 2 other machines that we need. So once we get these other machines, like the compounder, these may have blueprints associated with them that we get from the world engine. So there might be a place on the map that I haven't gone to that I need to go check out. Oh, you know what? There is. I haven't gone to the red leaf place that's up to the north over here. So that is one place that we'll probably have to go and get some blueprints. I basically did like a speed run through this to get to level 8 so that I could start here and show you guys what to do from this point on, because like I said earlier, this is basically where people, you know, get stuck and kind of hang it up as far as like trying to send things up. And so I think if I can help you guys build some bases that are good production bases for specific items, and we, you know, segment them out into individual, you know, specific bases throughout the map. So we'll do one here, I'll probably move over here and do one, I'll probably go over here and do one, and then we'll definitely do one over by the helium, and then there's more and more as we go out of different places that we can do. And I think that's going to be the fastest and best way to start leveling up to this level 11 area, because the getting to rail 3 is super difficult. It takes forever. And like I said, I probably had my computer on for 10 hours running around doing stuff over several days, just trying to get to the level 3 and the multi-storage. And so both of those were crazy. I still haven't even on my main game playthrough, I haven't even gotten to the point of the expandable storage, because it needs, like, I can't remember what item it is, but it takes forever and the machine only makes one every minute. And so I would need like 60 machines to try to do enough a minute just to fulfill the 600,000 to 800,000 bucks that it needs, when the item only delivers like, you know, $120, 20 whatever space bucks. I don't know what this is supposed to stand for. I don't remember in the game where it's specified what that, if that's just dollars or bucks or space bucks or war bonds or whatever the heck that is. But sorry if I keep calling it the wrong thing or something different every time, but it's just some kind of credit. So anyway, yeah, so you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this new series, and if there's some things you'd like me to cover and go over in the next episode, and where we finish up this. We should be able to get it done in the next episode and try to get the items launched up and see how fast that takes. And yeah, and then we'll start working on the next item. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys, and make sure you like and subscribe on the video and hit that bell notification. I'd really appreciate it. Also hit that hype button as well, and I'd really appreciate a good thumbs up on the video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks a lot.